Hey, what's going on, everybody? I actually came across this article earlier this morning about this Florida teen who was arrested for criminal mischief in Florida for wrestling an alligator. Now, before I get into this, I just want to say upfront, I'm not licensed to practice law in Florida. I'm actually not licensed to practice law in any state because I'm not a lawyer. So, take what I say with a grain of salt, but let me just go ahead and play this clip and then we'll just go back and I'll come back and we can get into it.
Hey, bro, what's up, man?
Man,
What you about to do?
OTM, man, you know how we coming, man. That's all.
You know, man, coming, man.
Fuck that jacket, man. Oh, yeah, beat the fuck niggas out, man. Fuck you, son.
Hey, dog, okay, hey, pin that boy. 1, 2, 3. Hey, bro, what's up, man?
Okay, so that's pretty much the clip. You guys have seen it. Now, we obviously don't know what happened before they turned the camera on. We don't know what happened after they turned the camera off. We don't even know if we got the full video clip. We just got this one little snippet. So we don't really have the full context. So, I mean, basically anything I say is gonna should be taken with a grain of salt. And again, I'm not even not even licensed to practice law anyway, so you definitely have to take what I say with a grain of salt. But here's the thing: they charged this guy with criminal mischief, and I guess the story is that he was actually arrested before, sometime before this, for trying to wrestle his school principal. We don't know what happened with that. I don't have any information other than what's in this article. So all I have is this video. Now, you can actually find the statute, the Florida statute for criminal mischief, uh, at the website flsenate.gov. And basically, the statute gets into what criminal mischief is, what the penalties are, and basically what the penalties are for a minor. Now, there's actually a lot of information in the statute, and it also talks about how a person can lose their license. I think if they're a minor, and if they don't have a driver's license, then they'll be prohibited from getting one for a year. So I mean, it's a comprehensive statute. So I also found another site that basically summarizes that statute. Basically, it says to prove the crime of criminal mischief at trial, the prosecution must establish the following three elements beyond a reasonable doubt: the defendant injured or damaged property, real or personal; the property injured or damaged by the defendant belonged to the alleged victim; the injury or damage was done willfully and maliciously. Now, let's just take a step back. Basically, let's look at the word maliciously. Now, I don't have Black's Law Dictionary in front of me, so we have to go to good old Webster's Dictionary. So basically, the meaning of malicious is having or showing a desire to cause harm to someone, given to, marked by, or arising from malice. So if we click malice, basically it's we're going to get like a circular definition: desire to cause pain, injury, or distress to another; intent to commit an unlawful act, cause harm without legal justification or excuse. Now, here's the thing: when you watch this video, it's not done
Hey,
with
bro,
what
what's
he's
up,
doing.
man?
He's not doing it
What you
maliciously.
about to
He's
do?
not doing
OTM,
it
man, you know
with
how we coming,
hate.
man. That's
He's
all.
not
You
doing it with
know,
anger.
man, coming, man.
Fuck that
I
jacket,
mean,
man.
he's basically just doing what
Oh,
kids
yeah, beat the
do,
fuck
and
niggas
that's
out, man.
basically
Fuck you,
doing
son.
silly stuff. He's just acting silly. The other thing is that they have to prove that there was actual damage done to the property. Now, when we watch the video, we don't see the alligator's head coming off. We don't see the alligator
Hey,
losing
dog,
a
okay.
limb. We don't see the
Hey,
alligator
pin that
lose the
boy.
tail. I mean, there could be some minute damage, like maybe he cracked it, or maybe he scratched it, or something of the nature. I mean, we can't see that from this angle, but something like that probably could have happened. But here's the thing: I think another element. Let me go back to the actual statute. So, if the damage to such property is $200 or less, it's a misdemeanor. or second degree punishable as provided by these other statutes. So the thing is, if I was his lawyer, first off, I just think this is just kind of like a nonsense case that they've given to this young man to give him a hard time and possibly ruin his childhood. So if I was his lawyer, I would basically put them on the hook for proving that damage was actually done to the property. And even if damage was actually done, it still wouldn't qualify as criminal mischief because basically he didn't do it maliciously. He's just a kid. He's just acting silly and he's just doing silly stuff that kids do. So I don't know. I just think this is just a bunch of nonsense. I think if he scratched it or he damaged it, then just force him to pay for it. And I think the other interesting element of the statute is that if the person is underage, then his parent is actually liable for the damages. Let me see if I can just do a quick page search to find this parent. Yeah, so if if a minor commits a delinquent act prohibited under the paragraph, the parent or legal guardian of the minor is liable along with the minor for payment of the fine. So if he's damaged the plastic alligator, just make him pay for it and that's it. Why would you charge him for criminal mischief? Because he obviously didn't have malice. He obviously wasn't intended to do harm. He was basically just doing silly stuff that kids do. Just make them pay for the fine. I understand that you want to discourage or disparage people from doing stuff like that, but trust me, once they have to come out of pocket, that's going to be discouragement enough to keep them from doing silly stuff. When especially if his parents has to pay for it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your questions and comments below. Thank you.